You're a super humble guy too, which I really appreciate. For those entrepreneurs that are listening, well, let's call it the wannabe entrepreneurs, the ones that have an idea or maybe they got a product or something, and man, they really want to start their own thing, but they're scared, right? They're married or they have a partner and they got a mortgage and they got a car payment, and they're having those thoughts like, well, okay, well, what if it doesn't make it? Then what do I do? And I only got $25,000 in savings, and if I put all that in, I got nothing else. And all those risks, those fears. What would you say to those people?
I think the sooner you just go for it, the better, because life doesn't get any easier, right? I
Mhm.
seriously questioned why it took us so long to get to doing battery, to where then I had two small little kids and life seemed a lot harder.
Gotcha.
And then you roll right into college and whatever else. It never gets any easier, right? So go for it when you're young and maybe you don't have a mortgage and maybe you're not married yet or whatever. Just go for it.
Just go for
Um,
it.
I think the other thing is it's always scary. I mean, I think if you're not scared, there's probably something wrong with you. But I think the nice part about that to me is that fear fuels you. It keeps you going, because once you commit, you can't fail, right? Like, why would you
Mhm.
chase something that you're not going to see through? It's going
Mhm.
to be scary, but that also keeps you just leaning into it. We like to say, like, in the ski side of things, it's kind of called getting over your tips.
Uh-huh.
And getting over your tips means you're a bit out of control. It also means that you're really leaning into it. So
Love it. Love
as long
that.
as you don't completely yard sale, and then if you do, you've probably learned a lot. The other part, I think, is you're scared. So is everyone else, right? Like, how many people do you talk to every day that have an idea or something? Everyone's got ideas.
Yep.
The difference is who who chases it, right? So if
Right.
you're scared, so are the other 10 people that might have a similar idea. But if you're the only one that actually pursues it, you just thinned out 90% of your competition just
Mm,
by giving
great
it a
point.
go. Yeah.
Great point. Great point. Great point. What about being an executive for the first time and having employees? What advice would you give an early founder that is also now suddenly a CEO and has 10 employees? What advice would you give, and maybe what are some early things you learned?
Um, Once again, we took it real slow. I'm proud to say that Ian, who was the third person to become part of Public Works, is still with us now. Um, I
Great.
think I think that is
That's awesome.
awesome.
Hmm.
And I look back and laugh at where we all were in our lives then compared to now, right? But I don't know. It's like employees are part of that motivation too, right? You want to serve your clients and you want to do the best work possible.
Hmm.
We know that our most important asset is the people willing to work hard with us. So it's a super motivator to me that our business needs to continue to do well if we're going to take care of the people that work with us, and we're going to take care of our community, maybe have a bit left over to do some donations to organizations we believe in.
Hmm.
So the employee part is just one huge test of that. Like, I right now I constantly look at that and I want to do better for those people because they deserve it.
Hmm.
It's
Hmm.
never enough, but you want to be competitive. You don't want people stressing about their finances. And now when I look at not just the people we have working for us, but their dependents, like whether they have rent payments or mortgages, like this trickle down effect now of, like,
Hmm.
if Frank and I screw up now, it's not just us, right? There's people counting on us.
That's very authentic, my friend. You can tell that that's real when it comes out of you. And I'm sure that's a huge reason for your successes because you've done everything you can to take care of your people. It is true. Now, even Riderflex, as we have employees, there's probably 10 people working full time. And yeah, it's hard for me to explain to people when you are a founder or an owner of a company and suddenly you've built something that's taking care of other families and it's paying their mortgages and putting their kids through school. And you're right, those people are depending on you to make the right decisions for their livelihoods as well. It's a special feeling. It really is just hard to describe. And then you're right. You're like, okay, I want the brand to do good. I want the company to do good, and I want us to make money, but I also have Kelly and Colleen and Marcy and all these people depending on us to make sure it goes right.
The Riderflex podcast can be heard just about anywhere these days, but you can visit riderflex.com/podcast to learn more about us and become a supporter of the show. Send your comments and suggestions for future topics to the email address podcast@riderflex.com or leave us a voicemail at 888-964-5876 extension 710. Thanks so much for listening and have a great day.